Hi everyone, it's Raleigh, and I want to revisit with you just for a while to set some expectations and paint the big picture for you for this course. For communication, I do read discussion posts daily, but I don't respond to every post. I find that when I try to respond to everybody and be inclusive, as the literature says, with everybody, it creates a lot of noise, and it's not necessary. If there's something that really needs to be discussed or pointed out or led in the course, I will address it. I want to be mindful of your time and my time. If you want me to respond to something, call me by name in one of the posts. Raleigh, what do you think about? I will respond to emails almost immediately and discussion posts in the class when I log in. I'll log in 2 or 3 times a day. My preferred method of communication with the class is to have short videos like this to kind of tell you where we're going or talk about where we've been or to highlight a point of concern for the class or something that everybody wants to know. I call these mini talks. They're kind of like fireside chats. And this video is an example of that. My perspective of my role in this particular class is that there is a spectrum of experiences among you. There are some of you who really know what's going on with online. You've been doing it for a number of years. And there are some who are just kind of getting started and you're trying to figure out what it's all about. Amy Barrows, for example, and perhaps others of you could teach this class with your eyes closed. So I want to be respectful of where you are. I don't want to force anybody down any path that they don't necessarily need to go down. My job is to guide you along that path to create an online course based on Palo Alto course design principles. That's my job, is to help you meet the standards that Palo Alto has set forth for quality online courses. And basically that means quality matters. And that's why we are looking at quality matters as a course design standard in this course. You will ultimately design a course based on those standards. I've also provided you, getting back to the idea that we don't all need to go down the same path, I would also like to remind you that I have resources available to you so you can find your insertion point into the material. There are topics on, if you look in the Start Here course orientation area, there are topics on online pedagogy, Canvas technology tutorials, example of a course that's been created. There are examples of campus templates. There is the course review policy for PAC. So really, I need for you to be familiar with all of these as you move through the course. I'm not going to keep pointing you back to these necessarily, but I'd like for you to figure out where you need to be in those resources. The big picture for what we're doing is you're currently taking the Intro to Online Course Design. You will go through this course, you will build, and you'll do assignments in this course. We'll do some discussions, some quizzes, and also you'll have the project of building a partial course. You'll build a homepage, a Start Here course orientation area, and 2 to 3 modules just to demonstrate that you're picking up on the standards. After I've checked all that off, you get a certificate of completion. When you've completed this course, of course, you'll continue to work on your own course. You'll have to build a course that is acceptable to your department. Each department determines how much you have to complete before it goes live. In other words, some departments let faculty build 2 or 3 modules, some let them build 75%, and some say you've got to complete the course before it goes live. That's a discussion that you need to have with your department chair or your team lead in your department. Every course that goes live or goes online at Palo Alto should go through a course review. This means that there are 3 people looking at your course and measuring it or comparing it to the standards. They're using something like the Quality Matters standards to see if you've met those points. The review team consists of your department chair or their designee, a subject matter expert, and somebody like me from the Teaching and Learning Center. My teaching tip to get started here for those of you who are new, if you're kind of trying to figure out how to get started, I recommend two things. I recommend that you look at the course design aspect of your course and you start with the Canvas tutorials. Those are located in the resource area in the Start Here module of this course. If you don't know how to use Canvas, go ahead and start kicking Canvas around and seeing and playing with the tools. How do you create a learning module? How do you create a page in a learning module? How do you edit those pages? You need to know all of that stuff, and you're going to need to know it in about 3 or 4 weeks. So I would go ahead and start looking at that. The other thing that you need to do that's a little more, not so solid is the teaching strategies. There is a page in the resource area in the Start Here module. It's called Online Pedagogy and Course Design Resources. As a starter, for those of you who are brand new to online teaching, I recommend 4 things to read. The concept of course mapping, Gagne's 9 events of instruction, rubrics for grading, and instructor presence. Those are all self-explanatory once you start reading those resources in the Online Pedagogy and Course Design Resources page. There are other things that you need to read too, but I think that's a good place to start. So I'll just remind you that I'm available to you anytime you need me. Contact me via email. That's my preferred mode of contact initially. If we need to set up a Zoom session, we can do that. You can see my name there, rway3@alamo.edu. There is another person who works in the center, the Teaching and Learning Center with me. Her name is Mallory Alvarez. She is the Canvas Technology Support Person for the campus, for PAC. She is there to help you with if you're having problems with the technology or maybe learning how to use some of the tools. I can do that also, but we split the duties up. My focus is more instructional design and course building. Hers is more the button pushing of Canvas. All right, I've taken up enough of your time. You all take care, and I'll be in touch again either before the end of this week or the start of next week. Take care and let me know if you need any help. Bye.